another superstar. This superstar is not only a superstar coach, her second business center, she just became an 11-star coach in her second business center. So she not only then is superstar coach, multi-star diamond coach in her second business center, she also serves on your coach advisory board. And she's really, I should say she served on our coach advisory board from in 2011, 2012, and was really just a phenomenal contributor to that, representing all of the coaches. She has been on every Success Club trip that we've ever had, and she's been on 2 of our Elite 10 trips, both to Tahiti and most recently to Argentina, 30 consecutive months in Success Club. Again, a Success Club 10 All-Star, and in 2012, she earned 239 Success Club points, and it has been documented that she has the largest shoe collection east of the Mississippi. Let's bring out superstar coach Janelle Summers.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. That's hilarious. I didn't know it had been documented. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you today about creating systems that drive your business. And the reason that's so important is because one of the reasons we're in this business is to have a better lifestyle. And if you're running your business without systems, you're going to feel chaos. And I don't know, what the majority is in this room, but a lot of my coaches are running their businesses while they're working full-time as parents. And that is a stressful situation. And so you want your time working your business to be as efficient as possible. That's the situation that I was in when I was building my business. And I didn't have time to be spinning my wheels. So you have to have some systems in place or you'll go crazy. I always say this business just takes passion and heart and drive and the willingness and the desire to help other people, which is true. But if you have all of that and you don't have systems, you're going to feel a little bit crazy. So I have too much content today, so I'm going to have to breeze through some of it real quick. For example, this first slide, I'm going to let these all fly in real quickly, and if you want to just take a picture, snapshot real quick, these are the areas where I feel you need to have systems in your business. Think of your business like any other organization where you have departments. So one of the reasons it's so important to have systems, though, is because your coaches, they need to have guidance. They need to have a blueprint of what to do next. And chances are, if you're not doing something and you don't have a system, they surely don't. Okay, and you want to be able to equip your coaches as much as possible. Make this business as easy and simple as possible. Okay, so moving on, building your brand and network. Okay, so you need to have a method of building your brand and building your network. And when I say building your brand, I mean you. Obviously, you've heard this before. You are the brand. People will buy and join from the person that they trust, the person that they like. They feel they connect with you. You are actually the brand. So I'm glad that Lauren talked a lot about that because that's something that's so key. And so find that method where you're going to build your brand. And, for myself, it's definitely Facebook, a little bit Instagram, a little bit of YouTube. I'm not a blogger. So for your coaches, figure out what's going to be the best method for them. And once you determine that, have them list their top interests and rank those interests based on what people normally go to them for advice. So these are just some examples, since I do focus on social media and have my coaches do as well. I have them post at least 3 times a day, or at least I give that as a guideline. And where it says pictures, 1 fitness, 1 food, and 1 miscellaneous, I actually have a mistake there. That should be 1 post that's regarding fitness or food, and then the other 2 are miscellaneous interests of yours or things that other people go to you. That's for new coaches, because a lot of your new coaches are coming into the business and they're thinking, I don't want to be that person that just all of a sudden starts posting about fitness and health and nutrition. I mean, my friends and family, they're just going to think that's weird and that's not me. Of course, you don't want your friends and family to be annoyed by your posts. So you want to make sure that your new coaches feel comfortable and say, look, just start posting more frequently. content is more important than, the quality is more important than the quantity of posts. Just start getting more comfortable posting. But one that has to do with just weaving in fitness and nutrition, and then the other two, things that you would normally post about, and normally gets a lot of traction, a lot of likes, and a lot of comments, so that they feel comfortable just weaving that in. Do a photo a day challenge so that they have some guidance, where they know something each day that they're going to post about that has something to do with fitness, health, and nutrition. And lastly, as far as building your brand, remember that it's so important first to inspire people. And I try and remember this even when I'm doing whether I'm recruiting challengers or coaches or training for my coaches, whatever it is, the very first thing you have to do is inspire them. Because people don't retain the to-do list, all the things that it's going to take to get from point A to point B, until you've inspired them and you've given them that desire to want to do it. So you have to inspire them first, and then you start engaging and helping. So think of that with your posts as well. Okay, recruiting challengers. Now, most of you probably have this down. That's why you're here. I try and give my coaches a system of, different examples that they can use to recruit challengers, and they're kind of like trigger posts. They're posts, I call them trigger posts. They're posts that trigger people to ask you what you're doing, or they trigger conversation where you can take it to an inbox message and then go into things further and say, hey, I saw you commented on that. You know what? I can help you. Are you struggling with nutrition or fitness? That's something I'm doing right now. So they're trigger posts. They're not necessarily join my challenge, which those are fine too. You're going to do those once in a while. But as far as every other day, those are some examples of trigger posts. Just even before and after pictures of you or others that have won the Beachbody Challenge, those kinds of things. Think of helping at least 2 people a day, asking lots of questions, listening really well, or rereading if it's social media. And then you advise them, give them suggestions, solutions. Be honest and lead with your fear. Send Shakeology samples, you all know that. And then follow up with them. When you think about giving someone samples or sending someone samples in the mail, think about, have you ever received samples before and not used them? I know I have. And so then someone messages you and says, what did you think of that? What did you think of that? And then I feel guilty because I haven't used it yet. So I think, I'll wait until tomorrow because I'll probably use it tomorrow. So think of that when you're sending these follow-ups to your prospects, your customers. Just ask if they've received it. Start with that. Say, hey, no worries if you haven't used it yet. Just curious if you received it. Get that conversation to keep going back and forth. Let them know it's okay. You understand if they didn't use it yet. When the time is right, ask or invite them to the challenge. And then track names. Make sure you always have a list of your challenge prospects. Recruiting coaches. First thing is, you might not think so, but all these posts that you do about your own team actually will help you recruit more coaches. Because people that are on the fence about coaching, you've talked to them about it before, and they've said, I don't know, I'm not sure it's my thing. They are watching everything you do, a lot of them, if they're kind of serious about it. They're watching everything you do, and they're watching that, okay, maybe not everyone on our team is super fit. Maybe some of these people are getting more fit after they start coaching. These little posts actually make those seeds of interest grow deeper. So weave in business posts 3 times a week. These are just some examples of what I consider business posts. So business posts I don't see as such and such is on sale, go to my website, buy it, here's my website. What I mean by business posts are much more subtle. Even welcoming new team members with a picture, pointing out the success of some customers, announcing that there's going to be an event coming up in the area, things like that. Much more subtle, not buy, or join me, those kinds of things. Much more subtle, but they have a business aspect to them. Now, this next one, IG to Facebook, it actually should say, don't post IG to Facebook. I don't know this for a fact. I'm not a Facebook expert or anything, but I really feel like if you have your settings going from Instagram to Facebook, it doesn't make it to the newsfeed as well on Facebook. So I would actually recommend that you maybe use the same picture, but you copy and paste your caption into Facebook so it posts live from Facebook, and you'll make it into more news feeds on Facebook. But Facebook can be directed to your blog, to and then your blog can go to Pinterest, and Facebook can go to Twitter. So that can be a real time saver for those of you, especially that are real short on time. And then here's another one where you definitely have to have a system of what to do when people are interested enough to ask for more details about coaching. Have a template. This was one of the first things I learned when I was new as a coach. Because like I said, I was very, 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 very busy, and I felt like I was constantly explaining what coaching was. I'm sure all of you feel that same way. And some of you may send people to a webinar, which I think is fine too, but I think sending people to a webinar is appropriate once their interest level is pretty deep. They're pretty sure they're going to sign up as a coach. That's when I think it's okay to send them to a webinar, because webinars are usually an hour long, and that's a lot of detail. I know for myself, I'm not going to spend an hour on anything unless I know it's really of interest to me. When people are just initially interested in coaching, I give them what I call the bulleted basics. And I have that going out to all my coaches too, and a lot of them use it. It's just, I still put my personal touch on it. I still say, here's why I love coaching. Here's why I think you would be a great coach. Here's what I think you could do with it. Here are the basics. And I can copy and paste that, whether I'm on my phone, on my computer. It's just a copy and paste. It's quick. It's what they need to know, and saves us all time. And then I just say at the end, does that make sense? Do you have any questions? I just say that at the end. And then they'll come back and say, yeah, I need to think about it or whatever. Whereas if you send them to a webinar and then they miss it, then they feel bad, and then they're like, I'll get back to her once I actually watch that recording, and then they never do. Okay, next, getting coaches started. I've already gone through this actually on the National Wake Up Call, so I'm just going to let this fly through real quick. It is so important, though. I don't want to underestimate the power of getting your coaches started right. The first 4 to 6 weeks of a coach life is critical. That is when they are so excited, and you really need to run with that excitement. And the one thing that's going to give them momentum is just those tiny little successes. And when I've done my Getting Started Right call, and then we do our follow-up call, and I hear that they watch the training, and we talk about some of the things that I assigned to them on the training, I give them huge props. I let them know that, look, you already know more than I did in my first 2 weeks. In fact, I didn't learn that until like month 4 or 5 as a coach. You know, I really try and encourage them and let them know that, you know, they have huge potential. They've already done so much work, and they've already learned so much just from watching those trainings or listening to those trainings. I have Success Club training. I do a special call, the follow-up call with Success Club, explaining what Success Club is, how you earn points. Don't take for granted what you know and think that, you know, they've already grasped that or they already know that. Really go over things very precisely. There's so much information as a new coach. Go over things and go over them and go over them. Be very repetitive. I don't know about any of you, but when I was new as a coach, I had to hear things 3 and 4 times before it clicked. And so sometimes you might have a coach where they don't absorb something right away because they're not there yet, or you've said it in a way that was confusing or whatever. So be pretty repetitive in your training. Have a video or something or a document. Have lots of different forms of training, but have a system for that. Have a go-to so that you're not constantly having to explain something and over, and you've got go-to things. You can point to a video, or you've got a document or whatever. And then push groups and accountability groups. After I've done a Getting Started Right call, and then I assign trainings, and then we do a follow-up call, and then it's a what's next. And a lot of you already know this. You know it. But your coaches don't, and you want to develop leaders. So make sure that a lot of you are already Emerald, or you're already Diamond, or you're Star Diamonds. Make sure they are doing these things that you are doing. Okay, again, first you've got to inspire them to want to. But make sure that they know what's next. So I've got push groups and accountability groups, and I went over that in the National Wake Up Call if any of you want more detail on that. And rewards and recognition, that's huge. Huge, rewards and recognition. Ongoing training, having systems but provide a mix, conference calls, accountability groups. Like I just said, I do the push groups. Some people do boot camp trainings. Just something to keep them going so that they know what to focus on every day. And with my accountability groups, I have them report in every single day. I've done some where they report in once a week. People forget. But if it's every single day, when you're building your business and you want it to go big in 2 to 3 years, it's every day. This business has a huge potential. It needs to be on your mind every single day if you want it to go big. And so I have those groups reporting in every single day because honestly, that's what it takes. Weekly emails and webinars and quarterly events. Of course, so many people have their aha moments at quarterly events. So those are critical. Having group texts and voice messages. With Voxer, you can do group messages. Even the voice memo on if you have an iPhone, that's a great, sometimes a coach will ask you a question and you need to get back to them right away. It's too much to text. Do a voice memo. Perfect for that. Here's one thing that's overlooked all the time. Just asking your coaches, what are you struggling with? What can I help you with? Instead of reaching out to them and saying, hey, I noticed you're going to lose your diamond status. You got plans for that? Reach out to them and find out where are they at. Maybe they've just had something tragic happen. Maybe they're really struggling with their fitness the last few weeks and they've been in a dark place. Just find out what's going on in their lives first. You have to engage with people. You have to inspire people and engage people before they're really going to care about this business and before they're going to feel like they're in a place where they can help other people. So if you're sitting there thinking, I've got a team and no one's really motivated, go back, say we're going to have we're going to rally the team kind of a call. I've got new information. Let's draw a line in the sand. Let's go. Who's in? Find out where people are in their fitness because most of the time, if they're not working their business and they were excited at one time and they're not now, it's because they don't feel good about their own fitness and health. And so that's it. Thank you so much for having me today. I wish you nothing but success in your business.